My name is Chris, and in this video, I will show you how to build an affiliate marketing website by using a WordPress drag and drop page builder called SeedProd. By using SeedProd, you will learn how to create your own website header, your own website footer, and your own fully functional blog to post affiliate marketing articles on. Before we get started, you should know that this video is part 2 in a 3-part collaboration series. You can find links to all 3 videos in the description below. The 3 videos are spread out across 3 different channels. The first one can be found on WP Beginner. The second can be found here on SeedProd, and the third and final video can be found on Opt-in Monster. By the end of this video, you should have the confidence to start building many different types of websites and the ability to maximize capturing leads to build a successful business for yourself. Thanks to Christina from WP Beginner, we now have our website and WordPress set up and ready to go. So let's get started with building the actual affiliate marketing website with SeedProd's theme builder. So here we are in our WordPress dashboard, and I have a clean installation of WordPress. I did add a few things. So under posts, all posts, I added 20 different test posts. So each post just has a title, and it has just some dummy text in here that I added, as well as a featured image, and that's it. And then I just duplicated this with a free plugin that I found 20 different times. The next thing I did was under media library. I just uploaded 3 different graphics. So I have a logo here that I created. There's an illustration here that I got from Envato Elements, and a free image I got from Pexels here of the money for the blog post. The first thing we want to do is install SeedProd. So come over to seedprod.com. And I'm going to be using the pro version for this video. So go ahead and click on Get SeedProd and select the account that makes the most sense for you. And then click on Login once you have an account. On the left-hand side, enter your email address, password, and click Login. Next, let's come into the Downloads tab. That's the second from the left. And click on the orange button here to download the plugin. And we also need the license key here in the bottom left-hand corner. So let's copy that. You can click the little icon here to do so. Let's close this tab and come back under plugins and add new. Here we can come up to the top for upload plugin, and we can drag and drop this zip file right here in the choose file section, or you can select the file by clicking it and selecting it from your hard drive. Let's install now, and let's go ahead and activate the plugin. SeedProd will ask you for the license key, so let's paste that right here and verify key. If everything goes successful, you should see a green message here in the top right. You have this tab at the bottom, you can close that. And next, let's just open up our website so we can see what we have so far. So right now we have the default theme that came with WordPress, along with some of the test posts that I added. Of course, your post would probably be different based on the niche website or marketing website that you've created. I'm going to come back to the admin area, and on the left-hand side under SeedProd, I'm going to go to the theme builder. So we could create every single section by ourselves by adding a new theme template right here, such as the header, the footer, sidebars, etc. Or you can use a theme to get a head start. So let's go ahead and click on themes. And these are pre-made themes that come with SeedProd. I'm going to find one that looks the closest to the website that I want to create, but we can completely customize it, so it's not a big deal. So I'll import this one here called Online Author Theme. And even if you don't use the graphics or the theme itself, it's still helpful to set up all of these different template parts for you. So now we have a header, a footer, sidebar, homepage, blog, single post, single page, and you didn't have to do anything to set those up. Now you won't see it on your main page yet because you have to enable it with the toggle here. Now if you have an active website, you probably don't want to enable this without first building your website because it will override it. So please be careful. Let's go ahead and enable this right now. And you'll see a message pop up saying this theme requires a static home and blog page be set in WordPress. So that'll create a home and blog page under the pages section of WordPress for us automatically. Let's go ahead and say yes or click OK. And a static home and blog page have been created. You can manage these in WordPress by going to settings, reading your homepage displays. Let's click OK. So all that means is that it created 2 pages for us. If we go under pages, all pages, it created this blog page and it created the home page. And then if we go under settings and reading, it automatically set it to our static pages for the home page and the post page for our blog. That just tells WordPress that this is the template we want to use for our blog page. And there we go. We can see our theme was imported into our website. We have the header. Here's our home page that we can see. And we have a footer here. We also have a sidebar section here. We want to use that with a couple items in our menu. So if we click blog, this will be the blog template that we can see. And then of course, if we click, this will be the blog post template. So this is where we can actually see the content of our page. So the first thing we want to do is maybe set our global CSS so we can set our styles. So here under the theme templates, let's come into global CSS and edit design. Here we can see the WordPress visual site builder. And on the right hand side, we have some test content here that we can use to change our colors on. On the left hand side, we can see all of our styles for colors, fonts, background, etc. So under colors, we can change all of our headers, for example. I'm going to leave mine black. That's fine. For text, I like that dark gray. For buttons, I'm actually going to change this to something closer like a dark orange or a dark kind of red. And the links, I'm actually going to leave black as well. They're kind of hard to see, but we'll change that on the actual website based on the block level itself. So we'll override these global CSS settings. And the background white is fine. Let's minimize this and come under fonts. And I'm just going to update these. I'm going to go ahead and use Montserrat, and I might change this to say bold for the headers. And the same thing for the body text typography. I'm going to update this to Montserrat as well. There we go. That looks good. I think just the only other difference would be maybe the line height just a bit further apart so it's easier to read. Everything else looks fine to me. You can also change the link colors and the hover state. So for example, when you hover right now, it's blue. We might want to change that to just black and leave the underline. And again, we can override those settings locally. The only other thing I want to change is a hover color on the button here. So if we come to our button, we have our default style here that we set in the color above. We need to change our hover state. Let's just select this color that we used, go under hover and paste that color here. But this time I just want to make it a little bit darker, and then you can see that instantly the difference. Let's go ahead and save this, and we can close this to come back to our theme files. And let's just refresh and see if that made any changes on the theme itself. There you can see the font has changed as well as the button color. And there we go. Everything looks pretty good. All right, next we want to customize our header. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's come back and find the header and click on edit design. Great. So we could use this and just modify it, or we could create one completely from scratch. I'm going to look for our columns. So on the left-hand side here, we have blocks. We have the template tags, standard, advanced, and all blocks are different elements on your page, such as text, images, videos, buttons, etc. I want to add a new column here under the standard blocks, and we're just going to drag that here to the top. And I want this to be 3 columns, so similar to what they have here now. And I just want to resize this. So the image will be maybe about there. This will be the logo here. I want the menu in the middle, and then the search on the right. It's pretty similar to what they have, but I want the search maybe a little bit smaller. And there we go. So we can drag, say, the menu right here, and we have the logo here, and we can take this search and just put it in there. And I'm just going to delete everything else. Now, let's say there was no image here for the logo. How would you go about adding your own logo? Well, let's delete this one. We just look for the blocks and come down to standard, and you can use an image block here. Or if you set your logo in your settings, you can use the site logo here as well. I'm just going to use an image and do it this way. And I'll select the settings. And here on the left-hand side, you'll see the block settings changed. So since this is an image, you see image related. If I select the menu, you'll see it turns to menu related options. Let's click the image, use your own image. Under the media library, I'm just going to select the logo that I created. And there we go. We can see that underneath here. Next, we have our menu here. Let's just change the settings here a bit. We have simple menu and WordPress menu. I'm just using simple that comes with SeedProd, but you can create your own WordPress menu under the menu screen and use those here. Everything looks good here. I just want to align to the left and maybe bold this. So under the topography on the advanced tab, let's go ahead and bold this and uppercase. The font looks a little bit too big. Maybe just bring it down a touch. Now you'll notice that this is a little bit higher than, for example, the logo and the search. So let's go ahead and select the whole row here. And under content at the bottom, we have vertical alignment. I'm just going to click the middle here. And now everything changed here to be perfectly aligned. And there we go. That's good enough for me. I'm just going to save this and we'll keep this simple. We'll refresh our page. And there we go. We can see our new simple header. The next thing I think we should change is our footer template. So we can go ahead and do that. And keep in mind, these are templates. So this one template that we changed can be seen on all of the different pages of our website. So now this header is on our blog page as well. Let's go ahead and find our footer template. We can save this one last time, make sure it's saved and close it out. And then we can look for our footer. Let's go ahead and edit the design. And I'm going to completely change this. So let's go ahead and delete this and we'll create one from scratch. So here I want 4 different columns. So I'll look for 1, 2, 3, 4 and select this. I think I want my logo and a tagline on the left and then 3 different sections for different links. Let's go ahead and resize this as I want the logo maybe a little bit bigger. And then these 3 sections maybe a little bit smaller. I also think I want this whole section a little bit lower in width. So let's go down maybe around 900 or say 950. There we go. That looks pretty good to me. Let's go back to our blocks and we'll select our image again for the logo. We'll click here. Use your own image. I'll select that and that looks good. One thing I forgot to do in the header was to link it back to our homepage. I can just grab that link and put that link right in here. That looks good. So now this will link when they click on it back to the homepage. Next, I want a headline underneath this just as a tagline, and I'll just replace this text. And we want to change this maybe to an H3, maybe an H4. We'll line that to the left. And I'll just change the color into the advanced tab to that dark gray or maybe even lighter than that, somewhere around there. Let's go ahead and add another headline for our links. This one's going to be called About. Let's bring that down to maybe an H4 and we'll line that to the left. It does look a bit big, so let's bring the topography down just a bit for the font size. That's way too big. Somewhere around 15 is good. Underneath this, I want to add a little bit of style, so we'll add a divider, which can be very handy for little breaks in the style. So right there, it just looks like a black line. Let's select this. And I'm going to change the height. Let's go, what do you think here? Maybe around 8. I think that looks good. We'll change the color to maybe a bright orange, or we'll look for the orange in the logo somewhere right around there that matches the piggy part. For the width, I'm going to bring this down just so it's a little bit of a style element and go to the left. Under advanced spacing, I'm going to take all of the padding off. So let's just change this to all zeros. And there we go. I'm also going to do the same thing to our header here. So under advanced spacing, let's change that to 0 as well. And that looks pretty good. We might want to put a little bit of spacing back on the top and bottom now that we removed the header. That actually looks better there. The next is our actual links underneath here. So let's go ahead and add maybe a list. We can just pop one in right underneath here. And let's modify this. So I'll select the first one. We have our first item here, and you could change this to whatever the link is. So our link here, you could highlight this and click the insert link. I'll just put a hashtag now. That links there to a fake link. We also have the icon here. So let's update that. Let's type in circle. We'll use one of these chevron circles here. So the one that points to the right. That looks good. Let's bring the font size down a bit, maybe around 12 or 13. And the icon color, I just want it to be kind of a faint gray. Actually, that reminds me, I think I want the whole background of this section, which is the purple part. Let's put a light gray on this just so it stands out a bit. Then we can select this icon again and make it just a little bit darker. That looks good. Great, so we have our first link. We can just come back here and duplicate this a few times. And we have the space between here, so we can just bring that down a little bit so they're a little bit closer. Excellent. Now I'm just going to duplicate these parts. So for example, this, I'll just drag it into this section. Maybe I'll do it again and we'll put it on this section, and we'll do the same thing for the divider and the same thing for the links here. Let's go ahead and move these. And then we'll just update the headers here for about, we'll put connect and help. You can change these to absolutely anything you want, and you can keep it actually quite simple. You don't have to get this elaborate with this many links if you don't have that many links. The only other thing maybe is a little bit of spacing on the section. Maybe on the top, we'll put 50 on the top and 50 on the bottom. Let's go ahead and save this, and we can close out, open our website and refresh. We scroll to the bottom, we should see our brand new footer here. Great, now let's go ahead and edit our actual main home page here so we can change all of the content on this section. So let's go ahead and find our home page, which is right here, and edit design. I actually like this section, but I think I want it the full width. Let's go ahead and select the row and just change this to 0 so it goes the full default width. The button I'm not going to be using here. Let's delete this. And I'm just going to update the text here. So let's use that same tagline that we used in the footer. I'll just put that here. And we'll use a little bit of text here. Whatever your marketing website is about, you can change that to whatever is related. The next thing I want are maybe 4 different major buttons down at the bottom here. So an icon with a link underneath them. And these would link maybe to your most popular topics on your blog, or you could create even separate pages up here. Since this is about finance and savings and mortgages, I think I'll do one for credit cards, savings, mortgages, and retirement. So let's go ahead and create that. I just want to create a new column right underneath here, and let's do 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one will be credit cards. Let's just build the first one first, and then we can duplicate that into the other ones. So I want an icon here. So I'm going to type icon in the search and just put that right in here. And then underneath that, I want a headline. Go ahead and put that right underneath. And we'll bring this down to maybe an H4, and I'll change the text here. Let's just put credit cards. Now this is very difficult to see, so let's change the background color. So we have the whole row here, which is the section of this, but we can also select each column. So this is the first column here, and I just want to change the background color to white. Great, let's update the icon here. So I'll just click on it and change it, and I'll look for maybe a credit card. This one works. And let's change the color maybe to this red that we set in our global settings. And the credit card here, we want to link this to somewhere. So this again would be to your credit card page, which would then talk about all of the different credit cards, and then your blog post related to credit cards and any offers you might have, or you could link it directly to a blog post, whatever makes sense for you. So let's go ahead and just put a link on this. And I'll just put a hashtag for now. And now you can see that that's linked. Great, so I'm going to go ahead and just copy this over to the other 3. I'll just fast forward the video here. So there we go. I just did the same thing that we did with the first one. So I just have 4 different ones here. I changed this to savings, mortgages, retirement, and then updated the icons. Then I changed the background to white for each column. So the only thing we want to do now is select the row and put some spacing here. We have the column gutter. Let's go maybe 20, and that'll put some space in between here. Let's also go under advanced for the row and come under spacing. And for the top, let's put 20 as well. So that just puts it down a little bit here. Okay, great. That looks good to me. Now we have the whole section here with a background image. Let's go ahead and delete this and just use a color. I think I'll go with an orange color that's similar to this. It's a little bit darker. Somewhere around there looks good to me. Let's go under advanced for the spacing, and we have too much here. So let's go maybe 50 on the top and 50 on the bottom. So that's our total header here completed. Let's go ahead and we can save that and preview it quick. And that looks great. Now this is completely optional, but I think I want to add a little bit of shadow to all of these white sections. So if I pick one, under advanced, we have shadow here, and I'll just put maybe large, and I'll just do the same thing for all of the columns here as well. There we go. That just makes that pop off the page just a little bit more. Okay, let's save this. And now I want to add a new section underneath here. So right here, if you hover over a purple section, you'll see a plus sign at the bottom. Go ahead and click this and you'll see a new one. Here, I want to put 2 columns. We'll select the 2 column right here. And I have a left and right side. This is a new row that we'll select. And I actually want to bring this size down, maybe around 950 again, like our footer. I don't want it the full width like our top section here. On the left-hand side, I want to put a decorative divider, just like the footer. So I'll drag one right in here. And we'll just make the same changes here. So I'll make this that same orange color. And we'll change the height. And the width, I don't want it that wide. So we'll just bring that down to around 30 or maybe 20 and align that to the left. Let's go ahead and add a header here. So I'll put this right beneath and we'll change the text. Let's change the alignment to the left, and I'll make this maybe an H4. I'll add a little bit of text underneath there. So instead of a headline, let's add some text right underneath here, and I'll update this text. Next, I want to make a list of links. So let's go ahead and do the list. And this is exactly like what we did in the footer. I'll just update the style here and turn these into links. So there we go. We have 5 different links here. Let's come under advanced typography. And the only thing I want to change really here is to make them stand out with a little bit of boldness. So these would be pillar content pieces that you could maybe link to your most popular blog posts as well for this specific topic. And lastly, for this left side, I just want to add maybe a certain call to action button. We'll put that right underneath here and we'll line that to the left, change the text. And for my website, it says explore credit card. So this is eventually send them to some type of offer that I could monetize. I'm going to change this to a medium button and you could add a link right here. This could be to one of your pages or maybe a sponsor. I'm going to come over to advanced and just add a little bit of horizontal padding on both sides here. So that makes it a little bit wider. I'm going to make that about as wide as the links. And then on the right side, I just want to add that illustration that we uploaded earlier. So I just need an image. I'll drag that on the right side, select it, use your own image. Under the media library, let's select this one. And there we go. We can see that. I want to add a little bit of spacing on the section. So I'll select the purple section, go to advanced spacing. And on the top and bottom, let's do 50. I just want to uncheck this so they don't all change on me, just the top and the bottom. Great, let's go ahead and save that. And again, if we refresh just to preview it, we now have that section included into our homepage. So now here we have a lot going on. So you can modify all of these different sections. I actually don't want any of these. We're going to show just a block of posts down here. So our most recent posts. But I just want it to be obvious of what they are. I don't want any headlines or anything like that. I'm just going to delete literally everything that we see here. And I'm going to leave this divider though, because I think I want to use that. We'll delete this whole section down here and this section as well. There we go. We'll just keep this simple. So we already have 50 spacing here, but there's no color difference. So I'm just going to select this section, go to advanced spacing. And on the top, I'm going to put that to 0 just to bump it up a bit. We have this divider here and I want to do the exact same thing. So we'll select that orange color and we'll make this about 8 and we'll just leave that like that. I'm going to duplicate this and then I'm going to have one on the top and bottom of my posts. So next, let's look for the template tags for the posts. So this is where we can include dynamic content into our page. And this specific one is our post. So we can just drag that in between our dividers here. And there we go. We can see some default posts here that it added. You can see one that I created and then all the duplicates with the number. Let's select the settings here. And on the left-hand side, I just want a default query here. You can select a custom or a manual if you like. And I want to do 3 wide. And you can show pagination here if you like, but we're going to have a separate blog page to do that. So I'm going to leave it off. And since we're doing 3 columns, we have an extra one here. So we just want to put this down to 9 per page. And there we go. That's all of our posts here, but we want to show the featured image so it looks a little bit better. And I want to show the title. The title tag looks good. I don't want to show the meta. The excerpt's fine right here. That's this text here. And the read more, I actually want to turn that off. You can leave that if you like. Let's come under the advanced tab and we can just change the style a little bit. We can come under post and we can add some padding here if we like. So let's see what 20 looks like. And we can't really see the area of our post. We can change the color, but I think I just want to leave that white and we can just add maybe a shadow around it. So that makes it pops off the page just a little bit. Everything else here looks good. The text I think actually looks quite nice. We have the image that we could maybe change. We could put maybe a little bit of shadow on that as well. That pops off as well here. The only other thing, maybe it's pretty white at the top. It blends in. So maybe you could add a solid border of a light gray here. And I'll put a width of 1. So you can see there's just a little bit of a border there that goes around it now. And that's good. That's actually everything that I want to do for that area. Just on these dividers, I want to add a little bit more space though between a different section here. So the top, let's go maybe 50 on the bottom. That looks like a little bit too much, maybe about 30. And the same thing on this one too. Let's do on the top, maybe about 30. And then that section spacing, we could just maybe bring that down around 50. Go ahead and save this. And this is our completed front page. We'll just refresh the page. So there we have our header. We have the different sections here. We have some links here that we could use, a nice design to call people in. We have some blog posts here, and we have our footer as well. There we go. That page is done. So the next one that we can work on is our blog page. And I'm just going to keep this really simple. I'll just show you how you can change this. It's the same thing. Let's save this one last time and exit out of it. And this template is actually used for multiple different sections of our website. So it uses it on the archives, the blog page, and the search results. So you could create a template for each one to get more specific with what you want those pages to look like, or they could share that. So I actually want to edit this design, and I'm just going to use it for this page right now, but it will work on the search if you want to use it for that. So here's the archive title. I'm not going to have any title. I'm just going to delete this. And I just want to update the look of this to look similar to how we set up the homepage one. I'll go to block settings here, and I want 2 columns. So it's nice and big on this page. For this page though, I want the pagination. So now that I enable that, you'll see the links on the bottom to go to the different pages to go to more of the posts. We have 2 now here, so we can actually add 10. So that'll even it out. Should add another post here. There we go, that looks good. So we have the featured image. We have the title. I don't want the meta. I will show the excerpt though, like we did on the front page. And this time I want the read more so they can click that to go through if they like. Now let's just change the style, and I'm just going to do the exact same thing that we did on the front page. And there we go. That looks pretty good. It looks exactly the same as the front page. And now we just have our pagination down here. And we can modify this by coming under text. And there's a section here for pagination. So if you're wondering how to align it or style it, let's go under pagination topography and click edit. And here you can change the font size, the line height, letter spacing, etc. So if you want this down a little bit, you can change the line height. So let's go maybe around 4. And I'm going to align this maybe to the center. And we could do some letter spacing here. And we could bold this and maybe make it uppercase. So there we go. That looks a little bit better. And it's pretty obvious what that does. Let's go ahead and save this and refresh our blog page. And there we go. It's a customized blog page that you can use. Now, of course, you can add sidebars and you can add any kind of content that you want to on here. Great. The final page that I want to create is for the blog post. So if we click on one of these, you can see that there's one here created already. And I just want to show you how to modify this. So again, let's save this one last time and we'll exit out of it. And this one is called the single post, right? Because this is one post. So this is a single post template. Let's go ahead and edit the design for this. And this will load a test post for us that we can work with. For this example, I don't want any of the metadata here. Let's delete that. We have a lot of spacing at the top here that I want to remove. So let's go to advanced spacing for this section. We'll just change this back to say 50 and 50 on the bottom. Actually, I might even go a little bit closer to the top here. For a sidebar, I'm going to get rid of everything that's in here. And I think on the right side, I just want to show related posts or other posts. I'll just drag the posts template tag in here. I'll select this. And yeah, we'll do a custom. I'll select posts. And you can actually select this by category, tags, authors. So if this was a different category, you could show different posts if you like. I just want to show maybe 3 posts. I don't want to show too many on this page. No pagination. I want the featured image. And I'll show the excerpt and no read more. As for the style, I'm just going to do this quickly and just style it exactly again like the front page. And there we go. That looks good to me. On the left-hand side here, we have our title for our blog post. We have our featured image, and we have the content, some share buttons, and some comments. For my example, I'm going to delete the comments, but you can leave those there if you like. And let's work our way down from the top. You could change the order of this, so maybe you want the picture on the top if you like that. I actually just like the simplicity of having the title up top, then a big image, and then you can come further down. If you like, you could add maybe a shadow to that as well, so it pops off the page a bit. And then I think that looks good. It looks pretty simple. And then we have our share article. And maybe we could change this divider to look like all of our other ones. Let's change this to 8. Change this to the orange color that we've been using. And I'll make this go the full width across. Now at the bottom, maybe we could add more articles. So if they miss the ones on the side, we could show a few articles here. And again, I just want to use a custom. And we want to show posts. And I just want to show, let's see, maybe 3 down here. And 3 total. Let's show the featured image and the title and nothing else. So no excerpt, no read more. And one more time, I'm going to go into advanced and change the style of these to match. Maybe we could add a headline here so we can tell people what this is all about. So we could just say read more related or maybe get more involved. And we can bring this down to maybe an H3 or even an H4. And there we go. I'm just going to keep this page really simple. We have all of these blocks available for you to use and play with. So videos and buttons, and you can add different call to actions and different sidebars. And you can actually add a sidebar in here that's a part. So let me just show you how to do that quickly. So let's close out of here. And here we have the sidebar template. Let's go ahead and edit the design and you'll see what's in here. And you'll see that this is the one that we saw earlier. So how do we actually embed that into a page? Well, let's go back for a single post, edit design. And let's say I want to show that sidebar on the right-hand side here, but underneath everything. Right here under template tags, we have the template parts. We can actually just drag that down here and I can select this and select the template part that I want. So this one is called sidebar. And there you go. It just imported it directly into our page. And that's how you use different parts. You can use these for many, many different situations, not just sidebars. So there's lots that you can do with that. I'm going to delete that for this example, but you could leave that there. Let's go ahead and save this and preview our final website. Let's refresh our blog page. We made a few changes here. So we have our title, our header, we have our sidebar with a few different other articles, our actual article here, the share article. You can add more options here as well instead of just these three. We have the divider and then a section here related to the content on the page. There we go. There's our front page. We have our blog page, and then of course our blog post page. Please let me know in the comments below what type of affiliate website you're building. I would really like to hear from you, and please subscribe to the channel to learn how to build more great looking types of websites. Now it's time to put your website to work, and that means collecting leads, but that's not always a straightforward process. So here's our friend Tim over at Opt-in Monster with a video on how to quickly and easily convert your website traffic into leads. In the video, he'll cover the tool you need and how to install it, how to create an opt-in campaign that targets the right visitors, and how to connect that campaign to your email service provider to automate your marketing strategy. Thank you so much for watching.